Why do some people get extremely attached to inanimate objects, like cars or stuffed animals, feeling genuine sadness when parting with them? The memories attach. My GF once started crying hard because I broke her white plain plate. So yes, people anthropomorphize things, and that creates empathy. You might also have some kind of emotional connection to an object. For example, I really like a sweater that my grandma has hand-knitted for me. Last example is my dad being really sad to leave his car, a Fiat Multipla. It was old school and family size. We went on many trips with it and he was always driving. The car got old and we grew up. He loved the car and was sad to see it go. Can be for several reasons. Some find comfort, some like the consistency of having it. For some it fulfills the human drive to care for things. Sometimes it's trauma, but not commonly. I have emotional attachment to a maternity sweater. I own it, reminds me of being pregnant with my son and those happy newborn times. I don't want to get rid of it. I anthropomorphize a lot of things, even going so far as to name them. And while I might not mourn or grieve for, say, a broken toaster that has to be tossed, I will give it a wee salute and thank it for its years of service before I put it in the bin. I have a teddy bear that is older than I am because it was given to my mother when she was a baby. It's tattered and torn and a mere shell of its original self, but I love it nonetheless. I would be heartbroken if it got lost. I would probably never forgive someone who damaged or lost it. For some of us, things can act as a reminder of a person, place, or event that we cherish. We keep them to be reminded, for that secret little pick-me-up or smile we get when looking at it and being reminded. I would feel sorry for anyone not capable of feeling attachment to things like that, though I understand that it can also be taken to an extreme, an unhealthy level. I anthropomorphize a pair of jeans I've owned for 10 years. I love her loads. She's called Jess and she essentially lives in my bed. I talk to her every night before I finally drift off to sleep. She's got a best friend who is a denim jacket named Mia, also anthropomorphized. I have a pair of shoes from when I was 2. They hang on my closet door. Stupid. I save them in a fire. I'm 57-year-old married man. Because they have a sentimental value to them. I fall in love with my cars. They have names, personalities. I had a Mustang years ago. That car, Jackie, nickel-dimed me to death like a bad boyfriend. My current vehicle is a F-150. Her name is Becky. I had an '85 Dodge van until 2010. Her name was Bertha. I cried when she was towed away. She had been a loyal vehicle. Both my kids learned to drive in it. Lots of trips. Wilson. For me it's trauma. At times, I feel empathy for objects encountered in the wild, like a lost mitten in a snowbank or the last unwanted item on a grocery store shelf. It's easier to feel empathy for innocent objects than it is for people who are anything but innocent. Dunno, I have this with one of my cars. I will never sell it no matter what. My first watch I got when I was 12. I wore that thing everywhere. It just did not feel right to not have my watch on except when I was sleeping. I was around 24 when it broke, and I honestly felt like crying. It wasn't special or anything, but it had been with me for so long to the point that it was really weird to no longer have it. It took a while to get used to my replacement watch, and I still don't have the same level of attachment even after several years now. I have a stuffed caterpillar that I've had since I was 6 months old. I literally don't remember life without her. When I was 6 years old, I took her to school with me to prevent homesickness. When I was 8, I accidentally dropped her down a storm drain and panicked until Dad was able to get her out. When I was in high school, I would sit her on my desk as I worked on my homework. As soon as I get home from college, I give her a friendly squeeze. Lucy is more than a small terracloth caterpillar to me, I guess. It's so personal and individual. I am very sentimental. I have a Pikachu plushie my dad gave me when I was 5, so roughly 27 years ago. It's downright decrepit, but believe me when I say this thing will be buried with me. He is currently sitting on my couch in my new apartment. I feel this way about a lot of random things important people give to me, but I think this is just the oldest one. They remind me of people I love, and I find them comforting. I have strange attachments to all of my things. It could very easily turn me into a hoarder if my wife didn't keep over me, but I attach memories to objects in the same way olfactory memory works. I've been a minimalist since I was a child. The only material things I have are functional for my life. They remind me about happy moments of my life. Like I have a stuffed seal that my mom brought to me when I was 4 and I was in a hospital, and I remember that moment every time I see that stuffed animal. Or my first guitar that I had to work all summer to buy when I was 15. Or gifts from people that remind me about them, like a drawing I got from my first girlfriend. It is still on my wall, and I like to remember these happy parts of my life. My first wife and I went to a thrift store and I saw a container I wanted. She picked it up first so it was hers. After she died, I got it and now keep some of her cherished items in it. My current wife knows I want the container and contents burnt up when I die.